Up next on the Valley's News Leader, a tragedy at a local park. A little girl is hit by a car, and tonight she's fighting for her life.
Plus, I'm tracking mild temperatures at least for the early part of our work week, but late week when 70s make another comeback. That's coming up in my extended forecast.
Wow, fun stuff right where the Golden Knights are. They have a special message for you. Hockey is for everyone. We're going to find out exactly what it means. Brittany Edney has the answer next on 8 News Now at 11.
Now, live, this is 8 News Now, Weekend Edition.
Nearly 30 people were injured after a pickup truck plowed into a parade crowd in New Orleans tonight. Investigators also say the driver, who is now in custody, appeared to be heavily intoxicated. 5 victims sustained serious injuries, but none of them are life-threatening. The crash happened in the Mid-City area during what's called the Crew of Endymion parade. The city's police chief says there are no indications that terrorism was involved. Back here in the Valley, a little girl in critical condition after being hit by a car at a popular park. The accident happened right at Sunset Park, which is pretty close to the airport. Investigators tell us it happened around 1:50 this afternoon. We're told the child got out of her family's car, and when she was crossing the parking lot, she was hit, and that the driver of the SUV was looking for a parking spot, didn't see the little girl, and hit her. The girl was taken to UMC Trauma, and also that the victim's family got into some kind of fight with the driver. Metro tells us the driver will likely not face any kind of criminal charges. The Red Cross is helping 30 people tonight after a massive fire ripped through an apartment complex in the central part of the Valley. The fire broke out along Karen and Eastern just before 4 o'clock, and shortly before showtime, firefighters were able to knock down the blaze. And at one point, we're told crews had to be called from the building because the roof started to collapse. We were told that no one was inside the building. Friends and family of a 17-year-old gunned down at a Valley basketball court came together to remember the teen today in a very special way. A memorial walk today at the Pearson Center near Cary and MLK Boulevard was also a fundraiser to help pay for funeral expenses. People donated cash for every lap completed. And friends say Coleman went to Shadow Ridge High School, where he played varsity lineman for the Mustangs. They described him as an outgoing, funny, loving kind of guy, about to turn 18 next month. Family says Coleman wasn't in a gang, but there may have been people around him that may have been involved in some, which may have played a factor in the deadly shooting. They urge other teens to live a positive lifestyle.
Just stay positive, stay in the education system, go to school, and just be careful who you're around, you know, because we've been having funerals every 2 or 3 months, and a lot of time you're just guilty by affiliation. And just use wisdom and just stay in school, stay positive.
Coleman was shot and killed after a fight broke out at a basketball court in West Las Vegas last weekend. Police say 3 suspects ran from the scene after the shooting. The person who pulled the trigger may be a juvenile as well. At this time, no suspect has been named. Now, switching gears, we're going to move things over to weather. Finally, a break from all of that rain. Katie, what's next?
You know, we've had 2 really wet, soggy Saturday and Sundays. The last 2 weekends really had that active weather here across portions of southern Nevada. Today, thankfully, that has come to an end with drier conditions, and it looks like similar conditions here as we head towards our day tomorrow. Much like today, we'll probably stay dry for your Sunday. Didn't see much in terms of rainfall. In fact, most spots not registering anything. We had a little bit of moisture on the radar. That was just falling as Virga evaporating before it even hit the ground surface. Tonight, we're watching those temperatures dropping down, though. Likely to see a few areas in the 30s. Right now, we're in the low to mid 40s, and those temperatures, again, will continue to fall with those winds going out of the west at about 6 miles an hour. Satellite radar, pretty quiet, not much when you compare it to the last 2 weekends. Kind of a 180-degree turn here, and that's probably going to be the case for the next couple of days. We'll stay on the drier side. We'll also watch for those decreasing clouds with more sunshine expected to be coming our way here as we head towards our day tomorrow. Right now, just a few clouds farther to the south, as well as just up towards the northeast of Pahrump. Otherwise, generally, dry conditions will remain the factor, but after a mild and cooler early part of the work week, we will see those temperatures increasing. I've got us low 50s by about lunchtime here tomorrow, about 58 degrees by 3, 7 p.m. 55, but when we'll see those temperatures returning to the low 70s. I've got details on that warm-up here, Demetria, coming up in just a couple minutes.
Thanks so much, Katie. The Vegas Golden Knights supported area kids this afternoon during Try Hockey for Free Day. Reporter Brittany Edney joins us now live with more on how this national initiative is encouraging children to try out the sport. Brittany?
Hey there, Demetria. Well, it was a really exciting day for a few hundred kids who got skating and hockey tutorials from staff members from the Vegas Golden Knights. Plus, equipment was supplied, and there was 2 hours of free ice time, so everybody really did have a lot of fun.
I was skating, and I was trying to do my best, and so I tried making goals against the big people, and I like it because it's like the same as rollerblading. And it's fun.
From first-timers to possible future hockey pros, kids of all experience levels hit the ice.
I've been playing it for about a year and a half, and I like it because my dad and my uncle played in the NHL, and I want to do what they did.
Staff members with the Vegas Golden Knights say it's all about getting out there and giving it a go.
One of those games that I think when everyone gets on the ice and they feel comfortable and they've fallen for the first time and they don't get hurt, that they really enjoy it. And there's leagues for everyone.
Kids were given jerseys, hockey sticks, and free lessons.
I love it. I'm really happy that I'm here because I want to play in the NHL, and I might want to play for them one day.
And hey, it could happen.
Who knows? There could be the next, Vegas Golden Knight out here.
And the Vegas Golden Knights will be showing their support for the LGBTQ community on Tuesday with special rainbow-themed avatars on all their social media accounts. Reporting live, Brittany Edney, 8 News Now.
Thank you, Brittany. The Democratic National Committee elected Tom Perez as its new chairman, voting the former Labor Secretary over Minnesota Representative Keith Ellison in a 235 to 200 vote. The fight for a new leader was the focus on the final day of the DNC winter meeting. Of the 7 candidates who were originally on the ballot, former Labor Secretary Tom Perez and Minnesota Congressman Keith Ellison remained the top frontrunners. Ellison and Perez represent the two forces that divide the party, the progressive movement versus the establishment. But on Saturday, both candidates delivered messages of solidarity.
Unity is essential. We've got to walk out of here in unity, not just between the candidates, but between the groups that support all of the candidates, no matter who wins.
At Perez's request, Ellison was approved as his deputy chair. Brazen crooks target an Apple store, and it's all caught on camera. And wait until you see what they were able to grab in just a matter of seconds. That story next on 8 News Now, the Valley's news leader.
Hurting a wreck, you need a check? I'm a...
Now, live, this is 8 News Now, Weekend Edition.
Caught on camera tonight. Check this out. Brazen crooks in California. Police are looking for 2 thieves caught on camera stealing iPhones from a store out in Glendale. The footage shows them walking into an Apple store. Police say the 2 men then swiped 14 iPhones worth more than $14,000. It all happened right in front of several witnesses. The suspects ran out of the store with the stolen iPhones. You just saw it there. Wow. Well, a scary scene earlier today in the northwest part of town. All roadways are back open now following an intense barricade situation. We're told it started here along the 29,000 block of Rainbow near Cheyenne at the La Ventana apartment homes. Police tell us a woman's boyfriend threatened to harm her 10-month-old baby if she didn't come out. Wow. Metro says he was watching the infant while she was at work. Once she alerted police, he then threatened to harm the child more. SWAT was able to save the baby and later arrested the man. Well, the countdown is on. We are less than 12 hours away from Scale the Strat, and there will be a special guest on hand to help pump you up. Find out who next on 8 News Now, the Valley's news leader.
This is what precision looks like.
For around $199 per month.
Now, live, this is 8 News Now, Weekend Edition.
Welcome back. More than 700 people are expected to scale the Strat tomorrow to help raise money for the American Lung Association. Among those lacing up his sneakers will be our own Paul Johnsich. Paul is hoping to break a record to be the fastest man ever up those 1,400 steps to reach the top of the Strat. Everything starts bright and early tomorrow morning. If you still want to take part, no worries. Online registration is over, but you can sign up the morning of the event on site at the Stratosphere. Once again, the money raised will benefit the American Lung Association in hopes of preventing lung disease and promoting lung health. All right, Katie, we were talking about this before. I know I wouldn't make it to the top and beat anybody because, man, 1,400 steps. That's crazy.
Well, did you just say he was trying to be the fastest man?
Good luck, Paul. I'm rooting for you, but you know.
Yeah, I guess so. I would be grateful if I could just get up to the very top without passing out. But kudos to him and kudos to everyone that is going to be going out there here this weekend. We do have a few people out here at Channel 8. They're going to be participating in Scale the Strat. So great cause. Obviously, it's going to be cooler. So once you're done with that, step outside. Temperatures in the 50s. Nice to see temperatures actually below seasonal average for a change of pace. Tonight, looking fairly dry here. We've seen a few of those clouds decreasing. Earlier today, it was overcast skies. We had that low cloud deck. Now looking at some of that clearing out, especially as we head here into the second half of the weekend. Actually, your Sunday not looking too bad here. Want to know, remember earlier today we talked about the fact that, yes, some of us could see temperatures in the 30s dropping overnight. That's exactly what we're seeing. Henderson, you're the 30s already, 38 degrees with those low to mid 40s here around Las Vegas as well as North Las Vegas. Those winds just a little bit breezy now picking up for Las Vegas. Those winds will turn gustier here tomorrow as well as on Monday. So keep that in mind if you're going to be spending any time outside. At least we can say, though, that we're dry now after a wet stretch here of weekends. Check this out, our dry weekend. Nice to see that after really soggy mid-February. The last 2 weekends, the 11th and 12th and the 18th and 19th, especially on the west side of the valley, we got hit hard. In fact, here's some of the rain totals. McCarran really not too bad, but then you compare it to the west side. Red Rock, almost 9/10 of an inch, over a quarter for Summerlin, almost a quarter for Spring Valley. That was 2 weekends ago. Then you look back at last weekend, we had almost a half an inch at McCarran, almost an inch and a half out at Red Rock over that 2-day period. Summerlin saw over an inch in Spring Valley, almost a half an inch. This week, nothing popping up in terms of measurable rainfall. We did have just a little bit of activity on the radar earlier today, most of that falling as Virga. Again, for those tuning in that didn't catch that before, if you're not familiar with Virga, it's that rainfall, that moisture in the air, but it evaporates before it reaches the ground level. So generally looking at drier conditions, and those clouds we saw, again, those overcast skies, that has since cleared, and we're now looking at quieter and calmer conditions. What's going to be happening is we'll see that ridge of high pressure starting to build. Still have that southwesterly flow, but ridge of high pressure is going to promote some drier conditions. That also means a bit of a warm-up, ladies and gentlemen. So as we head in towards late this next upcoming week, prepare for a return of the 70s. Some people like that, others, I know, not so much a fan. By the way, as those warmer temperatures come our way, we would love for you to connect with us on social media, Facebook, Twitter, or on Instagram. It's hard to believe that, it wasn't just, a couple of weeks ago that we had several feet of new snow up at Mount Charleston. Now we're talking drier conditions, so probably not going to be adding to that anytime soon. But there is that warmth. So finally kind of feeling a little closer to spring here, especially as we head in towards our next Friday and Saturday. Those temperatures here returning to the low 70s. So a nice change of pace going from 50s to 60s, Demetria, and then eventually 70s here by late next week.
As long as it stays kind of a slow increase in the temps, that's what I want.
How about moderation?
Moderation is good.
Yes.
And hey, guys, we're talking about sports now. That's why John's here. A full slate of state hoops and more coming
Yeah,
up.
the Silver State is well represented by the college kids, some UNLV, but mostly Nevada Reno, and the high school hotshots aiming for hardware in history. See who took home the titles coming up in sports. Well, good evening. For the past 60 years, it would have been basketball blasphemy to say UNLV was David and Nevada Reno was Goliath. But here we are. The team from up north is 23-6, and the Rebels are riding an 8-game losing streak. Like David, Coach Marvin Minzy's only chance at beating the Wolfpack is with a stone and a sling, but he can't because that's super illegal. There is no place like home. Coach Dave Rice is back in the building as a Reno assistant trying to show up his ex. UNLV students, well, making the most of arts and crafts time. The Rebels struggle in a lot of areas, but not when it comes to JoJo Mooring's confidence. He's always ready to fire. 4 3-pointers for him, but Reno's Marcus Marshall, well, he's got high self-esteem too. 8 3-pointers and 28 points. The Wolfpack seized the Silver State on this play. A block by Cameron Oliver and a bucket by Jordan Caroline. Caroline was far more sour than sweet to UNLV, 31 points, a game high. UNLV's best play, Chris Clyburn, rising and rocking the rim for the dunk. But all 14 people in attendance were roaring. Final moments of the half. DJ Finner out-hustles the Rebels and hits the shot at the buzzer to go into the locker room, and that's not good. Let's focus on something positive. The 1987 Final Four team was honored. Special moment. Unfortunately, they don't have eligibility left. UNLV loses 94-58. State Basketball Saturday, a day Cheyenne and Desert Pines players will never forget. Class 3A history and hardware on the line, most definitely at Cox Pavilion. Desert Pines lost at state the last 3 years on the doorstep of a ring again. They were not to be denied. Cap Uzan had 26 points, and this assist to the flexing Jalen Graves. The Jaguars dominating the Desert Shields for 4 quarters. Derek Coleman, with a nice touch at the rim. Desert Pines with the title. Coach Mike Uzan and 9 seniors win the Nevada State title 69-46.
This is what it's all about. You know, those kids mean a lot to me, and I know they feel the same about me, and just winning the whole thing with them is what the best part about it is.
Because we've been chasing this since we got here. That was the whole purpose of all of us coming here. So winning with my dad, it's kind of more special to me because it's like a family. It's just you don't get these times back, so it's just something that I can always hang my head on. Like, I'm a state champion.
You know, we lost 3 years in a row. We got to go out with a bang. It's our senior year, so you know we have to take over this year.
1A state title game, Paringa Valley, Mineral County. But first, check out Brody Maxwell, legendary haircut. Sources confirm it's real, but it does not move. How about Colin Higbee? He's on the move, scoring with intent. Higbee, a handful. What a good player. 12 points in the first half alone. Yeah, as I was saying, great player, and he is a handful. Nice play by him in the lane. Now, quarterback Tabor Maxwell. He can do other things. Tabor party for 3, but the Mineral County Serpents slithered their way to the 1A title, 63-46. Every championship story is glorious, but not every championship game is compelling. We had a full lineup of blowouts, but not in the 4A state title. On Friday night, Clark and Gorman provided grind, grit, and greatness in one of the best games you'll ever see.
The gym, full. The action, phenomenal. The teams, fearless. Clark attacked Gorman with unprecedented confidence. In fact, they expected to win.
We can beat them this time, and we will beat them.
Jalen Hill punctuated a passionate first half with a rim-rattling exclamation point. The Chargers had a 1-point lead at half and a shock-the-world mentality. As for Gorman, their leader and one of the best players in the country filled the basket and fulfilled the hype. Chuck O'Bannon was not to be denied.
I just wanted to come out here and show everybody what I can do because we were the underdogs tonight. Everybody thought Clark was going to win this game, so I just wanted to come out here and prove them wrong.
The contenders wouldn't back down. Trey Woodbury and James Bridges proved why Clark belonged with the big boys. The Chargers seized an 8-point lead with 90 seconds left. The Gales down, but not done. Christian Papula ignites the comeback. The overwhelming defense of Gorman caused Clark to cough the ball up. With 20 seconds left, backup guard DJ Howe was fouled. He went to the line with his team trailing by 2.
When I get in the game, I know I have to contribute, so I did my thing, and I made my team happy.
15 seconds left, tie game. Chuck O'Bannon rose and rocked. Nothing says McDonald's All-American like 36 points in his final high school game.
Chuck O'Bannon showed how great he is, and he's the best player in the state.
The Chargers were valiant, but the Gales were victorious. Gorman's win was good for a 6th straight state title and a game for the ages. The dynasty continues.
What a game. But congratulations to all the champions. You made your families and communities proud. And way to represent Southern Nevada. That's all for sports. Let's send it back over to Demetria for more news.
Thanks, John. Toy collections are nothing new, but wait until you see what we found in the Hoosier State. A Batman collection that is like no other. In fact, it's a world record holder. You'll see it next on 8 News Now, the Valley's news leader.
This portion of 8 News Now is sponsored by El Cortez Hotel and Casino.
This may look like just a car driving
6 and 6:30.
Now, live. This is 8 News Now, Weekend Edition.
So Indianapolis may not be Gotham City, but there's still plenty of love for Batman. One fan has collected more than 3,300 pieces of Batman memorabilia in his basement. Wow, look at that. That includes Batman costumes, figurines, skates, skis, license plates. He says people are usually pretty stunned when they see what he calls his Bat Cave.
I mean, I've had people come down here, and I usually try to get out of the way where I can turn around and look at them, and they're in awe. They just can't even, you know, and I tell a lot of people about my Batman collection, and they'll see pictures of it, and until you really get to come down in the room, you just can't really get your head around what I've got down here.
Silva's collection was in the Guinness Book of World Records for 3 years.
Nice.
Wow.
Okay, so did you guys, either of you, ever collect anything quite to that
Beanie
kind of
Baby,
scale?
not to that level. I didn't have enough money, but Beanie Babies.
I don't think either of you guys probably have that level, but any major collections?
It was Beanie Babies, of course. I mean, that was...
You too?
Yeah.
No, not Beanie Babies.
Oh.
Like stuffed animals when I was really little, and I used to play football with them, and then I discovered girls, and things changed.
Oh, you had a collection of girls, Jon Tritsch. Is that what you're saying?
I'm just saying, like, I branched out.
Oh.
I branched out.
Okay.
I branched out, yeah.
Collection of guys to the right of you?
Brett Boone's Seattle Mariners wanted to be him, and so I had this great wall of Brett Boone. It was very creepy, and then I grew out of that. And
Good. See, we grow out of these things.
Thank God we do.
They said the Beanie Baby stuff would be worth so much money, and we collected it. My grandma collected it, and they're not as, you know, valuable as they thought they'd
also,
be.
Beanie Babies aren't creeped out when you're like, hey, I got this great collection.
Yeah, I know.
And you go to Brett Boone, and he's like, that's really nice, Katie.
Right.
So, you know.
Yeah, you can't do that for sure.
No.
Not at all. Well, that's exciting, though. Good weather, cool sports, you know. All right,
And
it's
tracking
Saturday.
a warm-up here heading in towards next weekend.
Of course. Well, for news anytime, just go to LasVegasNow.com. Have a great night. It's crazy.
Closed captioning of 8 News Now is sponsored by Ed Bernstein and Associates. Enough said. Call Ed.
Planet Nissan's President's Day sale is now through